Hello, returning ESL staff. This is Lisa Conway. I hope you've had a wonderful summer break. There are some changes to our Fall 2013 Home Language Survey process, and it is important that you are aware of these changes prior to registration. What we'll cover in this brief PowerPoint is the following: what has stayed the same for Fall 2013, and what is new or different for this fall. The first important news that we need to share with you is that the home language survey that we presented to you at our May staff meeting is still under development. Because of that, we are going to be using the same home language survey as we did last year, however, with some important changes. So first, to answer the question, what is staying the same about the Fall 2013 Home Language Survey? And this is what is staying the same. For parents and guardians who answer yes to the question, does your child speak or understand a language other than English, there is no change. They will still answer all home language survey questions, and they will still indicate whether their child attended school in another country or have been enrolled in a ESL or bilingual program. Not that any of you have forgotten what this looks like, but here is an example, a screenshot of a home language survey that you may see again this fall, where a parent has responded yes to the first question. The student speaks or understands a language other than English. Now let's talk about what has changed this fall. First of all, the opening statement that parents and guardians see when they get to the screen in Jeffco Connect where they're going to enter their language information, that opening statement has been rewritten to promote an asset orientation and to promote that asset-oriented understanding. And so if you'll bear with me, I am going to read it to you. Jeffco Schools believes that students from all backgrounds arrive at school with a wealth of experiences, conceptual knowledge, and strategies for learning. All schools provide English as a second language, ESL instructional support, and some schools also provide dual language education programs. The goal of these programs is for students to develop high levels of academic English proficiency and to be at or above grade level in all content areas. The language information you provide will help decide whether your child is given an English language proficiency test. This information will determine whether your child would benefit from the linguistic and academic support provided by the ESL and/or dual language programs in Jeffco schools. Let's continue talking about what is new about our Fall 2013 Home Language Survey. For parents or guardians who answer no to the first question, does your child speak or understand a language other than English, this is new. These parents of students new to Jeffco must now also answer these two additional questions. What language did your child first learn when he or she began to talk? And what language is most often used between parent and child? As you can see, we are eliciting first language and home language or language background data now on all students new to Jeffco, including those students for whom no is the response to the first question about the student's current language ability. Here is a screenshot with an example of a no response to the first question. The parents have said, no, my student doesn't speak or understand a language other than English, and they are responding to the current language use of their child. So where you see what language other than English does the student speak or understand, that is pre-populated with English because they answered no to the first question. If you continue to look down, you will see, however, which language did the student learn when he or she first began to talk. Spanish has been indicated. Now, it will still give us only English spoken or understood after that because of the parent's response to the very first question, that currently the student only speaks or understands English. And in this scenario, the language most often used between the parent, guardian, and child is English. But we are now seeing a child who first learned a language other than English, who is now an only English child. You might be asking, why are we gathering this information? And through our knowledge of the language acquisition process, we do understand that linguistic development is a very complex process. And I'd like you to review these two assumptions from Nancy Cummins' book, which articulates this idea of language, complexity, and interaction. We are now in the situation where we are developing a new conceptual understanding of certain number 5 or English-only students. Because all parents and guardians are now answering questions related to first language and language used between parent and child, certain home language survey responses may result in these number 5 students who may have also learned a first language other than English, or responses where this number 5 child is in the situation where their parents are speaking to their child in a language other than English, and we encounter this sometimes when parents are hoping to teach their children a native language, and so they speak to their child in that other language. For the purposes of this brief home language survey PowerPoint, here are 3 takeaway understandings for you. The fall 2013 process will ensure early identification of all of our students now with primary and or home languages other than English. Also, this fall process is an interim measure, so we can gather more precise language and home language information on students while our future HLS is being developed, the one that you saw last May. And now, importantly, you are going to be receiving by the end of this week an ID assessment and enrollment refresher training that you will view, and it will include several more of these HLS scenarios to illustrate new possible combinations of language. And so, when you receive an email, you will receive instructions about how to enroll in the Schoology courses for these refresher trainings. And we would like you to view these refresher trainings prior to registration. So I want to thank you for your time, attention, and commitment to ensuring that all of our linguistically diverse students are accurately identified. And I thank you also for your patience and understanding as we work through this interim process. And I'm sure you have many questions that I believe will be answered when you view the ID assessment and enrollment refresher training soon. Thank you very much.